All right, this is another video that I'm doing on courage. So, the next synonym for courage is alive or aliveness. And I thought this one was kind of interesting at first, like how is alive or aliveness courage, but then contemplated it, meditated on it, and I did come up with some feelings that felt like courage. It was that alive feeling. And before I go into talking about it, the story, what came up for me, I think it's interesting how, as I go through these synonyms for courage, each one has a slightly different feel to it, but it's also similar. It's like like the base of it is the same, but there's just some nuance that's slightly different. And then I also thought, think it's interesting how some just instantly I'm like, oh yeah, that's courage for sure. And then other ones I'm like, huh? Like, there's like a disconnect at first, and I have to just kind of open to it. So, with the live, what came up for me was the first thing that came up for me in the 90s. Let's say it was like 95, 96. I was 18 to 19, and I was already living on my own. I had two roommates and a girlfriend at the time. And one roommate, he was, I don't know if you call him a redneck, but just a regular dude, country dude from Oregon, rural Oregon. And then the other dude uh, was this um, like polar opposite, which was he was considered himself goth, or wore black all the time, put on white makeup on his face sometimes. On Sundays, he would sit there in the living room in the dark, listening to like goth music and being dramatic about being sad, or it's the '90s. I'm not really sure what all that stuff was about. I thought it was kind of funny, but didn't really care. Um, People can do whatever they want or act however they want, be into whatever they want. That was my feeling on it. But um, this guy didn't really connect with him much, but once in a while we would connect a little bit. And he had this old Volkswagen, or I'm sorry, not Volkswagen, Volvo station wagon. Or hold on, I'm trying to remember if it was you know what? No, it was a Volkswagen. It was a Volkswagen station wagon from like the '60s, late '60s, and it was very light and flimsy, as Volkswagens are. And one day he was like, "Hey, let's go for a ride someplace." I forget exactly where. Like we're gonna go get beer. Or, I don't remember that part too well. And so I was like, "Yeah, I'm down. I'm always down to on an adventure." Didn't really know what the details were. Just let's go. We jumped in the car with them, and we went driving. And this is in rural, outside of Portland. Like a lot of Sherwood, Oregon. Now it's overly developed. Tualatin. There's a lot of construction out there now, but back then there was tons of dirt roads and hills, and you were kind of free. Wasn't too much going on. Um, so I don't even remember why, but he decided to go up this hill, this dirt hill, and the I'm sorry, dirt road up a hill. And we're going up this hill, and I always thought it was funny, how much this dude like was hyper focused on death. because at the time, you know, uh, I didn't really talk about it in my mind. I was constantly thinking about death or dying. Like every thought, when I dreams, it's all a lot of thought about death and dying. So I thought it was funny that this guy was like dramatizing it. It's kind of interesting. And there's a point to this part. So we're driving up this hill, and it's Oregon, so it's raining all the time. And I remember we're turning, and he's going a little fast, and I could feel fear because I could see over the side, and if we fall, that car is just going to tumble down. And I think he was kind of fucking with me a little bit, because he sensed that I had fear, and I was on the outside where I could look down. He wasn't on that side. So we're driving, and I remember the fear, and then he hit a corner a little bit too fast. And as he hit this corner, the car started to tip, like, just like on two wheels went up. And literally, car goes up, and I could see the cliff going down. Like I'm looking, it's just like, whoop. I was like, oh, there's a chance right now we're gonna die. And in that moment, um, I remember thinking, feeling just like, well, there's absolutely nothing I can do right now. So I might as well enjoy it, which is kind of a weird thing to think, but that's just where I was at. And like that, all this fear just instantly shifted to that alive feeling. I started laughing. I was just looking down, and you could feel the car, like kind of stop on the right there on that point of its wheels, and then it fell back down, normal, back on four wheels. And I remember that alive feeling. It was like pulsing through me. I felt amazing. And I look over at this guy, and he's trembling. He's trembling with fear, and he's not talking. I feel great. I feel like I just conquered the world. And I looked at him, and I started laughing. And I was like, "What's the matter? You afraid of death?" And yeah, he was. Despite all that drama and you know, hamming it up, he was actually really terrified of death. That's what I found out. And we slowly went back down the hill. He was very, very careful to drive after that. We got back to the apartment, and I just couldn't shut up about how much fun I had because I felt alive. And then, of course, I also clowned the other guy because, he was fucking with me. And when it came to it, he showed his true feelings, and I showed my true feelings in that moment. So that's a story on Alive. That feeling of aliveness. That's the first thing that came to me. Um, so yeah, I don't know if you've ever felt alive. I'm sure you have, but maybe it's not coming so easily to you. So just contemplate it. See if you can get used to recalling that feeling. What does it feel like in the body? What does it feel like? The sensations of it. And just see what comes up. I'll see you guys in the next video.